What is the dumbest, most absurd challenge you can dream up in Peglin? From the depths of my single brain cell, I've cooked up the egg-only challenge. We tried doing this with bombs only, we attempted to beat the game without attacking at all, and we tried taking on the game with no balls. But an egg. Surely there will be at least one level in the game that you can't beat with an egg. Maybe there is something that is more insane than beating the game with an egg, but it is the dumbest thing I've come up with so far at least. What madman thought this was a good idea? Where's that science dude? Because I am totally going to blame him for this and rather than myself. But anyway, let the egg science begin. We know that Peglin has many weapons and they are all balls, and the egg is technically a ball, but it's definitely not one of the weapons, even if you can throw it. But throwing it is probably the worst thing you can do. So naturally, of course, I'm going to try to challenge myself to beat the game using only eggs. I have done some science with this before, like we did a short where I just tried to see how many eggs I can spawn. So multi-balls was fantastic for that, with the chains and the multi-ball relic and everything like that, a million summoning circles as you can see. The problem with that is that we have to start with a rock. And with so many summoning circles and stuff, yes, we can theoretically get many eggs. But if the sack is in the wrong order, you will in fact just spawn 1,000 summoning circles and you will kill your enemies using that. And that's not the point, like I have to actually kill them with eggs. Not just have an egg duplication machine, but do the damage with some other source, because that's cheating obviously. So my old science was not good enough for this specific challenge run, I had to redo it. And of course, being a scientist, I'm thinking of many experiments, not just the eggs. Like I have more things than eggs in that brain cell sometimes. So if you're a bit absent-minded, you might just throw the egg and then you've wasted your time, you've wasted your career, and you've wasted your entire life as a scientist by just throwing an egg into a wall. So that was some terribly bad science and a big failure of a run. But as a scientist, you can't just give up, you have to try again, and you have to try better with things that will actually maybe work. A second egg. The egg gods have truly blessed us this day. Technically I cheated in the first egg, but don't tell anyone that. We need to keep anything egg-based, if it's an egg god, an egg boy, or an egg whatever, on our side. Because if we're going to egg up literally everything in the entire game, we need all the power we can muster. So we have seen Egg Boy in the past, and I don't know if he's much of a warrior, but maybe we can use him for inspiration to come up with some kind of egg tech that will beat the game. So if multi-balls was not the solution, obviously the next thing I tried was the Spinventor specific multi-ball, the Orbusted reaction, where you can throw multi-balls in several directions at once. But this had the same problem. I had many balls, sometimes many eggs, sometimes many other balls. It wasn't really cool enough. But I did look at some relics and things that might actually work. So a little bit of egg science was done through research. We found a way to bring death by egg to everything in this universe. And I considered, is there a god of eggs? Can we just rely on Egg Boy and the scientist to get this done? Can we upgrade eggs? Can we get critical eggs? If you were a slime bag or a bat in this game and you could die either by ball or by egg, what would you choose? But this run with this new build, this is now the perfect one. We're playing Peglin with emphasis on the egg, where we are throwing eggs at pegs and ruining everyone's day, hopefully. And if some of those eggs are not completely destroyed in the process, maybe we can also have a nice lunch. But if we have done the science correctly, I should now be able to kill literally everything with eggs. And the forest nerds, the slimes and the bats and the sniper plants and whatever else lives in these parts will be my test subjects. Yes, taste the eggy pain, death by egg. And with the multi-balls, of which I have many less now, we basically have one science man and his ever duplicating eggs. We can get the infinite eggs rolling. So in the beginning, there were no eggs. But eventually, there will be at least 4 eggs. So if we talk about the actual build, I'm just gonna say that Egg Boy has blessed me with this incredible science. It basically relies on the weaponized envy, because the egg is a heal. First we have to select some loot, so what makes sense with eggs? Can we have morbid eggs? Sure, why not? We have everything else crammed into an egg. Duplicate eggs, critical eggs, death by eggs, egg boy, egg science. Let's just morbid up the eggs as well. Should make them extra deadly eggs. So if you have a relic where you deal 3 times the amount healed as damage to your targeted enemy, you can suddenly do damage with an egg. But that on its own is not good enough, because if you throw the egg it just breaks. So we need a multi-ball so we can sheet in infinite eggs, or as many eggs as we need. Is this the mirror of dreams where we can duplicate not one ball, duplicate all the balls, because then we will have more eggs. Look at that glorious bag now, there's at least 3 eggs. I wanted 4, so something has gone wrong. But we also have the multi-ball, so we can now do the big egg science, we can throw many balls. Look at this weak mortal healer. Get with the times, old man. Regular healing is outdated, it's all about the egg healing now. And you don't want to mess with the egg. One cool thing that I noticed here is we have the upgrade, the first peg hit by 10. And with morbid, we can just slam our egg through a dead peg 1,000 times and get a huge peg. We're using a dead peg, probably the least useful peg generally speaking, and an egg. And that's a combo that will do more damage than many other things in the game. Again, given it's a sheet run, sure, but they really have a lot of cool things interacting in this game. This time we can only duplicate 1 ball, but we already have 4 eggs, so I've hit my dream limit. So I guess I just invest in the egg potential with another summoning circle. And we land the perfect setup right away with probably the most amount of eggs I will throw. Still only 12,000 damage, so it's not as much. We've seen more already, right? But this is basically the run. I throw 1 billion eggs and things fall over. I'm sure there's going to be some kind of problem though, because this is a targeted attack. I need to have a target. And I know at least one fight where I cannot have a target and I have no other damage. Well, I guess I have the upgrades with the summoning circle, but I don't want to use that. It's supposed to be an egg run, it's a challenge, and I don't really care if it fails. It's more the novelty of it. Can we do everything with only eggs? I'm still fairly certain it's the dumbest idea I've ever had, but it has to be done. How far can we push a single egg? Well, we have already pushed it to multi-eggs, but you get the point. The important thing to test in the run is if this works with overhealing. Because some effects only go off the actual heal you receive, so if I had 148 out of 150, it would heal me for 2, and damage them for 6, that would be useless. It would take 1,000 years to do anything. But if it just plays off the actual number of the multi-eggs, the multi-upgrade critical eggs, which is what I'm going for really, then we can basically invent egg nukes. That's my dream. But right now we are dealing with a nightmare, because this is the fight I was concerned about, where I cannot target these dudes. So I can throw all the eggs in the world. I am generating infinite eggs, I'm upgrading the pegs to mad levels, and I'm throwing enough eggs that they actually sometimes even bounce and live past 1 peg, which they shouldn't do. So the almighty egg build has run into a wall. And the glorious egg overlord has forsaken me, where there's nothing I can do. If I could actually throw the egg straight ahead into a dude, that would be fine. So I am actually going to have to either bail on the run here, or just throw the summoning circles 1 by 1 into these dudes and get it done that way. And until we get the sack in the correct order, we get to watch the glorious egg machine gun, where I summon 12,000 eggs out of a summoning circle and it just goes everywhere all over the place and heals me for way more than I need. What is the recommended egg intake on a daily basis for a goblin scientist? Probably less than 12,000. We can't just give up on the egg build, because it has been very useful and very interesting. So other than the morbid stuff earlier, eggs don't care if you have shields, that kind of stuff, it just goes through anything. So I've learned that the weakness of every enemy in this game is actually eggs. So it would be cool if the egg got to see a bit more play. One thing I find is missing though is that there's no egg investment. I cannot spend my cash on my egg to get a better egg, or maybe get 2 eggs at least so I can throw more eggs. So do you have any cool ideas for the egg build? What could make it better? How could I have salvaged the eggy mess I was in with the invisible nerds? Maybe I just need to go back to the drawing board. Work on the build some more. And science, together with Egg Boy, is what's going to make that happen. I don't really know who Egg Boy is really, he just appeared at some point with the pop. But he might be the ultimate manifestation of egg power. Or is he the peak of egg technology? Is he a misguided follower who just really loves eggs? Like one of those insane Peglins? Or is he the chosen one, foretold in the legends of breakfast? Chosen by the eggy madness that now somehow occupies my brain cell. And that brain cell might need a break if all it can think of is egg science. Like out of all the ideas I've had for Peglin, this has to be the dumbest one, but it might also be a strong one. Strong enough that we do not need any more relics, we just go straight into the boss with my eggy hubris. I am the Lord of Eggs, and nothing can stop me. So there are only 2 questions left to answer now. First, what was the highest damage number we got out of one of our eggs? And second, can you beat Peglin with only eggs? Technically, yes. Should you? Probably not. And you need a solution for the invisible nerds, or just get lucky and avoid them. If you like this, you might also like this challenge where I tried to beat Peglin with only bombs, no other damage allowed. Thank you for watching.